Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final quick rundown for 4CC Sluggers Season 1, The Utterly Deranged. We are here at the Super Sluggers ERIES, Daisy's Nuts versus his Sluggies. And before we talk about the matchup itself, we have to talk about how these teams got here. And without cutting any corners, both teams had awful starts to the season, particularly Daisy's Nuts. They started 2-4 when they first met his Sluggies, lost there, and then lost again to start 2-6. They tried many different lineups, made a couple trades, but then started to turn it around in the second half of the season. One of the big trades was acquiring Woody, and the other maybe important thing is having consistent pitching from Daisy. But how in the world is this team, with that many losses at the start of the season, here in the series?
Well, Pavel, I think the manager, I remember saying they really wanted to claw back and finish the season over 500. They didn't quite get there, but what they did get is hot. And I mean red hot, scorching down the line, and that's exactly when you want to be hot, is coming into the playoffs, and they've proven that here. Easily dispatching the, well, not easily dispatching the Melties, but dispatching the Melties, and almost effortlessly upending the number one Sucks. Yep. Just showing that, yeah, we're here to play, and we belong here, and they do.
Yeah. And not only were they hot down the stretch, they did it through the true galaxy brain ascended monk brain version of baseball, which is dingers, just hitting dingers over and over again. King Boo, King K rule consistent all season, even with Queen Boo not getting the power class change that she was supposed to, rigged.
Yeah, you would have thought. If you watched the play on the field, there was no telling that they weren't a power class now. Just mashing the ball. That 1-2 battery with King K. Rool followed directly by Queen Boo. You saw these guys coming up in the lineup, and you got excited. Yeah, the royalty in full display all season, especially the second half of the season for Daisy's Nuts. And they did win the games they needed to. They beat Yoshi Tax Dodgers. They beat Dallas Salads down the stretch to ensure that they were in the wild card. And then, as you mentioned, beat the Sucks first in the regular season and then took care of them in the postseason. On the other side, his Sluggies also had not only an awful start to the season, the only team to start 0-3. Only team to start 0-3. And everyone, except for us, wrote them off. Now, I only didn't write them off because I am retardedly optimistic, but you, in your wizardry, didn't write them off for a specific reason. Well, one is because I love the fuck out of baseball, but two, it was because there was magic on that team. They weren't giving up runs. They were showing grit, and they needed just one little piece, one little motion to really get everything clicking. And boy, did it come in week 4.
Yes.
VLC. I think an honest frontrunner for MVP. With him off the field, 0-3. With him on the field, 9-2.
9-2. 11-2 if you count the postseason as well.
Yeah, 11-2 if you count the playoffs. So absolutely, a turnaround, and all it took was them looking at their bench, and they have looked unfreaking stoppable since then. I know they had a couple of bumps. They lost one to the Melties, they lost one to the Sucks, but they have looked absolutely unbeatable down the stretch. Yeah. And I mean, their playoff round against the Dingers didn't look any different.
Well, more or less. I mean, they actually did give up runs finally for the first time in the season, but you could say that was just a result of the Dingers coming together. But, I mean, his Sluggies have been consistent all season. Great defense. But another important thing, too, if that Week 4 VLC start wasn't as important, Gandhi, at the trade deadline, the last trade, not only was acquired, but from the Nuts. And now we get to see the fruition of that come into fruition, or whatever you want to, how you can call it. Peach is going to ride the bench in that trade, but Gandhi will be starting.
You can say that a lot of trades, it's like who won. They both got good players. You can tell who won that trade. So you can kind of say the Sluggies have already won once. Not to mention they beat him twice in the regular season, but that was at week 7 and 8 when the teams were everyone was still in flux. They were figuring it out. I guarantee the Nuts are itching to get their comeback on these guys.
Dude, 100%. And you mentioned VLC might get MVP. That's going to be a very, very spicy debate. We'll see how the polls, how the voting shakes out. Which, if you haven't voted, go vote. Should be in the chat as we're playing this. if it's most valuable player to the league, then maybe it's Tiny Kong. But if it's most valuable player to their team, then it might absolutely be VLC.
VLC, King K. Rool also has, a dog in this fight. Maybe not because they were the absolute top best. Like, if you pick one player and you're like, I want that guy on my team. King K. Rool, VLC, maybe not quite there at the top, but for what they've done for these teams, you could not argue that anyone has more value.
Yeah. Great defense, very respectable offense, multiple home runs, leads the team in batting average. Or not quite batting average. I guess probably batting average. Batting average, slugging in. Whoa, but why not? Fuck it. Good job, VLC. As far as the matchup goes, Daisy's Nuts are the away team for the first important game. So his Sluggies get the stadium pick, and they have chosen Wario City Night, which is not a perfect stadium by any stretch of Daisy's Nuts, but it's one that the Nuts do like. So, as good as, and this is kind of a unstoppable force versus immovable object coded matchup, as good as the great defense of the Sluggies is this ballpark right for their defense?
The only way to find out is to see. I mean, generally, the red outfield for the Sluggies have been just about perfect throughout the whole season. Now, the Nuts can put up some runs, some big-time runs here on Wario Stadium. With the short outfield in the center and with how well they can hit it to left and right past the foul pole, that's what they're going to need to do, of course, to get past Pingus and Mario and Leaf Girl. But they can do it. We've seen it. We've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
Especially here against the Melties a few weeks ago. I don't think they played there against the Sucks at all, but they put a lot of big numbers in the stadium, so it'll be exciting to see if it's the unstoppable force or the immovable object. Queen
Boo has hit multiple balls to that parking lot, and Daisy somehow has 4 home runs on the season. I think like 2 of them have come at Wario City, like straight center. So that really short 297, outfield wall distance.
And that weird little oblong shape right down dead center.
Yeah. Important note, on screen is not quite yet confirmed the starting lineup for the Sluggies. It is the lineup that they used during Game 2 against the Dingers, in which they were required to start a pitcher not named Gandhi. Gandhi rode the bench for that game. Question is, will they go to Gandhi in Game 2 or Game 1? You would think Game 1 for sure. But regardless, he's going to have to sit one of them.
If they go Game 2, they can't go back for Game 3, can they?
Yeah, they can. The Game 3, there's no rules on pitchers. Game 3 is basically, the last game of the season. You can do whatever you want. You need your starter back in. That would be fun. Maybe a rule for the future.
We've yet to have a rubber match. For those who don't watch baseball, it's when you have a 3-game series and it's tied going into Game 3. We've yet to have a rubber match. God, that would be good for the World Series, the Super Series. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I mean, we almost got it in the Sluggies versus Dingers, and the Nuts are the proper Dingers team. Also, I wanted to mention for the Nuts, Queen Boo making just her second start all season, both of them in the postseason. She has been an excellent starting pitcher, but can they deal with Gandhi, who's just been win after win after win? Huge.
Yeah, that's going to be the story. They're going to have to beat Gandhi if they want to win. They're going to have to beat him, and so far it's been tough.
Well, that is all coming tonight, as well as the final boss match immediately after. And early apologies to Coach, and thank you for your patience as we wind down an incredible first season of 4CC Sluggers, the Utterly Deranged. We're going to have to come up with an even cooler tag title for Season 2.
Even Utterly Deranger? Utterly Deranger? I don't know.
Well, that will happen tonight. Later!